Hello, and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News Channel. Today, we're going to talk about a sudden surge in XRP micropayments, less than 2 XRP. So these are like small, really small micropayments of less than a couple of cents, basically a couple of cents. You can see the purple graph has surged from about 5,000 to about 45,000. Now, at about 2 XRP, at less than $1 a piece, probably less than 50 cents a piece, you're looking at like only about $45,000 in terms of transactions. This is the daily count. I think some people might be more interested in the orange things, but that looks like there's a gradual increase. There was a massive spike, and then basically a come down. So this was definitely some kind of a test, or like one guy sending a lot of transactions and then coming down. We don't know what this is. But the purple spike could actually be a couple of things. It could be one actor sending a bunch of microtransactions, and if it's that, it'll come crashing down, just like this yellow spike did. It could actually be testing for whatever Ripple is testing towards, or some exchange thing. I don't think you would use XRapid to send like a couple of cents. That doesn't make any sense. So it's probably not XRapid, but it could be like some kind of testing project. Or it could be, optimistically, I suppose it could be, you could say it's preparations for like a new game of microtransactions coming to the XRP system. Maybe something like Beachheads is getting ready to launch and they're testing it. And after a while, it'll actually launch and people in the network will actually use a lot of microtransactions. So that's the optimistic scenario. We've seen this happen before with the purple transactions here, but substantially here. But this one is even larger than this one. I'm not sure what this was, but you can see like after a couple of months it crashed down. This was probably some kind of initial like testing, and I'm guessing this could actually be too. So it's not going to be like Beachheads because that's not really even that close to release yet. So it's not going to be that, but it could be another game that's actually coming on the XRP network that's testing its microtransactions, and that would be like the optimistic scenario because that represents a good use case. Now, transferring $45,000, a couple $1,000s every week isn't going to pump XRP price up, but there could be multiple numbers of these games in the future. It's not only for XRP, it's for other games as well. We know that Tron gets most of its volume from like crappy little betting games. So does EOS right now. So XRP could actually partake in some of that. You might think it's not a dignified use of XRP, but who the hell cares if it's dignified or not, honestly? As long as they're using it, and it's creating demand for it, and it could increase price in the future. That's honestly all we as investors care about. So if they have a bunch of like little XRP bet games on the network that actually use XRP, I'm cool with that. I personally don't really care what they actually use XRP for, as long as they're not using like XRP like to pass drugs or something, and they're using XRP in a legit way that actually generates demand. So I definitely see the charts as encouraging recently because it looks like there might be some like additional tests, even in the 1,500 to 15,000 XRP. Came down, yes, but that could represent a test. Could definitely be a test here in the yellow because you can see it's going up again. This was a big surge. I'm not really sure what this was, but this is generally between $700 and $500. So that could just be like, Mercury FX opening up new corridors, which is definitely good for XRP as well. You can see the micropayments really going up. I'm actually a little surprised the small payments really like between 2 and 20 XRP aren't going up. By the way, but this also kind of happened during the XRP pump time. So the remittance thing could just be people sending, small amounts of XRP back and forth during the time that XRP was actually pumping for trading purposes. This is not during the XRP pump time. So that is most likely like just one guy sending XRP or a game or something testing XRP. Hopefully it's the second one because that if the game actually launches after that, there'll be a lot more than 45,000 per week of XRP successful payments, assuming that the game is popular. If something like League of Legends, let's say, launched on the XRP ledger, not saying that anything is going to launch on the XRP ledger like League of Legends, you'd see like hundreds of thousands, even millions of transactions per week, and that could be like a huge PR move, as well as a large suck for demand on the price of XRP. Now, it's not going to be League of Legends because League of Legends has their own riot points thing. They're not going on blockchain anytime soon. But if something popular like that was developed on the XRP ledger, that would be really great for XRP itself. We know that Beachhead is being developed on XRP, and I think there's like one or two more games that's being developed on the ledger. If this is a precursor to that, that's definitely good news. There's obviously, a case where it's just this and it's going to bleed out over time, or even this up and up, right down. I hope it's not this, because that just means it's one guy and then it just dies. This is much more likely to be some kind of a test, and that's actually what I'm hoping for. I don't think this is a real release of a large game on the ledger, because if that was the case, it'd be even much higher than this right now. But this is definitely encouraging news. It does open the room for speculation on what's actually happening with micropayments. We know that gaming is a gateway for micropayments, and this could signal future releases of future games on the XRP ledger. So that's the report for today for XRP. Pretty good news, but we'll have to keep track over the next couple of weeks of what this actually turns out to be, and if it is anything at all. So that's the news for today. Check out the Twitter. It's in my description. Like and subscribe, and hit that bell notifications button if you like my content. Thank you, and have a nice day.